The 46th annual Hornell Sports Night kicking off with WWE Hall of Famer and 1996 Olympic gold medalist, the legendary Kurt Angle. And Kurt, thank you so much for joining us. And first off, just tell us about this event and how cool it is to be here.
I think it's really cool that you have so many people that care about your programs here, that they would have a sports night and bring in celebrity athletes across the board from different sports. It's really special, and it's great to be a part of it. It really is.
Yeah, and I know, obviously, just a few weeks ago, removed from Wrestlemania, and I was down there, capacity crowd, 80,000 plus, and taking on, none other than Baron Corbin. And was this the match you had hoped to end your career with?
I don't think it's the match that I hoped for. I think it was the match that should have happened. Baron and I have been doing a program for a year now. I decided that I wanted to retire at WrestleMania. So I kind of put Vince McMahon in a position. What does he do? Does he go with Baron Corbin, who I was supposed to go with, or do we change it up to John Cena or AJ Styles or whoever else? It wasn't really anyone's fault. It was just the fact that the timing was Baron Corbin, and it was the right decision.
And obviously, of course, the nice send-off with the fans, the final chant at WrestleMania, the "You Suck" chant was going on, which is always synonymous with Kurt Angle. But just tell us about a lot of guys when they say, hey, I'm retired from wrestling, I'm retired from the industry, they end up coming back. Shawn Michaels is an example of that. Is that too far ahead to look at? Is that something you think about?
I don't plan on wrestling again. If it ever something came about, maybe my son Jason Jordan comes back and wants me to tag with him, maybe, but for the most part, I'm good. My body, I put it through hell the last 20 years, and I know how I feel now, and I know that I want to have a quality of life after wrestling, and want to be able to play with my kids and hold them, and I'm 50 years old. I've been wrestling amateur and pro for the last 45 years, so it's time for me to step down.
Well, it's been a magical ride and a magical career, and from the milk truck, which we know about that, which was crazy, and probably the greatest Hall of Fame speech I've ever seen, throwing the milk down, man, that was awesome. And just a couple quick wrestling questions as well. Also do things for WrestlingInc.com, so it's really cool to be here with you here tonight. And just tell us about, I go back in time and I think about that match with Shane McMahon at King of the Ring, and you guys just took it to a high level, maybe the highest level we've seen. What made you guys want to go to that level?
Well, Shane and I were both fairly new to the scene. We were young, we were dumb, we did a lot of crazy stuff, but we structured the match to be very physical. We didn't expect it to be as physical as it was. I'll give you an example. The glass that Shane went through, that was supposed to be sugar glass. It was the wrong glass. It was plexiglass. So we got injured pretty badly. I know Shane, he had a few stitches that night, in the hospital. Me too. But the match just, it erupted into something that many fans feel could have been one of the best street fights of all time. I'm not a street fighter. I'm a wrestler. So part of me is very honored to be a part of that match, but part of me is thinking, what the hell's wrong with you? Why would you do that?
What is that?
You're a wrestler. You wrestle in the ring. You have wrestling skills. You're an Olympic gold medalist. So it was kind of cool to be a part of that match, but you will never see me in another match like that again, that's for sure.
No more glass, no more glass, man. Going back to that time. But I'd be certainly, I don't want to miss this opportunity to ask you about the milk truck. I mean, no question, one of the greatest Raw moments in history, spraying Stone Cold Steve Austin, Deborah and the Alliance in the ring. Talk about how that origin of the idea came about, but also how fun was that, to spray people with milk?
Well, Stone Cold Steve Austin did the beer truck, I think 3 years prior, and that was a big hit. And since I had a program with Steve, the writers and Vince McMahon decided to have Kurt Angle bring in the milk truck. And, I didn't expect to have something like that, and I didn't really know how monumental it would be until later on in my career, but it's really cool to be a part of things like that, because That's what fans remember the most. They'll remember your matches, but they remember the moments. I said that in my Hall of Fame speech. Fans remember particular moments in your career, and it stays with them forever. And that kind of moment was something really special.
Yeah, and we're going to remember that forever in WWE lore. And obviously right now you do so much. The Angle Strong app, helping recovering addicts, helping people, helping your fellow man, which is so special. And what an honor that is to do. Moving forward, what would you want your legacy to be and be remembered as? And also looking back on your career and thinking about some of those moments, does it crystallize more that you're kind of stepping away?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think I've really felt the full impact yet of how it feels to be retired because I'm fresh off of Wrestlemania match. But, you know, I do look at my life, and I've been really selfish my first half of my life. Everything has been about me. The Olympics, pro wrestling, the movies I've done, the life I've lived, the traveling all over the world. Now it's time for me to sit back and let my kids do their thing, and I need to be there for them. So I see a different pattern in my life, and it's no longer being served; it's to serve others. And I'm doing that with my Angle Strong app. My kids, I take them to their sporting events. I do homework with them. It's really about them now, and I'm gonna enjoy it as much as I can. I'm gonna miss wrestling. I'm gonna miss the things that I've done, the things I've accomplished in amateur and pro wrestling. That was my life. And now it's a new journey for me, and it's going to be very, very difficult to just step away and say, I feel good about it. But I'm okay right now, and that's all that matters.
I love it. And I think, you've mastered so much. You become a master of self, whether in wrestling, the WWE, Angle Strong app, certainly a thing called life you can master. And we all know this. And last thing here tonight here at Hornell Sports Night, the 46th annual Kurt Angle is what's next for Kurt aside from, of course, family? Is there a Legends deal in store for WWE? And obviously coming off a general management role, which was probably pretty challenging, which you did in SmackDown too before.
Being a general manager is harder than wrestling. It really is. You're involved in every storyline, and there's so much to remember, and it just gets confusing, But I carried that role as good as I could, and I thought I did okay at it. But my future, I signed a 5-year deal with WWE. I'm going to do some part-time, quote unquote, if they need me in front of the TV, maybe managerial, where I would be managing wrestlers. But the most important thing is I'm going to be a producer. I'm going to help the wrestlers with their technique. I'm going to help them structure the matches. It's something I'm very good at, and I thought I'd be able to contribute to the company.
Oh, we can't wait to see it all unfold. Kurt Angle, 1996 Olympic gold medalist and WWE Hall of Famer, Hornell Sports Night. He's here. It's true. It's true.
Yeah,
It's damn true. Kurt, thank you so much. Thank you very much.